Hello, everyone. Welcome into a very special interview. I'm Sarah Pararia, joined with Alex Ashmore, and we are here with PFL fighter fighting out of South Africa, Nkosi Ndebele. Nkosi, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Well, listen, you obviously have a massive fight coming up just next weekend, October 18th. And I just wanted to know, let's start off, how are you feeling heading into this one?
I'm feeling great. I feel awesome. In great shape, mentally in a good position. I'm excited. I'm happy where I am. So, yeah, I just cannot wait, man, to remind people who the king of Africa is, who the king of many nations is.
It's what we like to hear, Nkosi. Talking about your move to the PFL and obviously adjusting to it, how have you found your short tenure so far in the PFL?
Man, it's beautiful. It's what I've wanted. It's a dream come true. For many years I've wished, staying active. This is what I signed up for. I'm a fighter, so I need to fight as many times as I can. So having this opportunity with PFL also to perform at least 3 times in less than 6 months, that's amazing. And it gets me excited even more when I think about it.
That's great to hear. And you're obviously fighting Simbarashe Hankoya, a fighter you've never fought before. How are you preparing to go up against Hankoya on Saturday?
As I said earlier on, I've always prepared for me personally, for my own self growth in the sport of MMA. I believe that I am the base foundation. If I build a strong foundation for myself, then it doesn't matter who stands in front of me. I know I'm blessed. God has given me the talent, I've got the skill, I've got the power, the resilience, and yeah. So nothing new. As I've always trained, but I'm in a different state mentally, and it's a good state, and that's why I feel like I'm in a position of like really performing at my best of level at this moment, and yeah, it's good. It's really good, and I like it. So yeah, as much as I'm going against Hokonya, yeah, I'm ready. I've prepared for myself. Yeah, and you'll see what will happen.
Nkosi, I want to ask you about the future, not too far into the future, but as a fighter, I think it's always, you always hear fighters talking about the end goal. But for you, how do you stay focused in the now and obviously keep a streak like that going to set you up for future success?
The goal is big. The reason I started this, if it was for my own ability or wishful thoughts or anything, I think I would have stopped a long time ago. And I'm being vocal about this so many times, letting people know out there that, I believe God is with me in this journey. And as part of that, there's a world to inspire. There's a young kid, a young boy or girl around the world. It doesn't matter which part of the world, sitting out there who just needs that one person to look up to and, become the main motivational or inspiration. And, I believe I'm that person. I'm a legend. There's a legacy to build and a legacy to leave behind. So it's just bigger than just getting into the ring and fighting. There's more lives to transform. My family, my siblings, so and everyone who's next to me, and also to change the whole sport of MMA, especially in Africa. There's a huge door and a wide field to grow, and I want to fill up that space and go down as one of the legend in history. To bring a transformation and uplift the sport of MMA when it comes to Africa.
It's really lovely to hear. I do like to ask fighters this question, Nkosi, about just how of a solitary sport it is. You know, there aren't teammates, and once you're in the octagon, it's you and yourself. And that's a lot to deal with mentally, knowing that everything is solely on your shoulders. How do you personally deal with all of that?
Yeah, fortunately for me, I'm a king. And as much as a king needs his kingdom and he understands that he has to work together with his kingdom, which is my teammates and my coaches and everyone who's around me. But it's a one-person sport. It's a one-person sport. When I'm stepping inside there, it's only me. None of my corners, none of my teammates are inside there. So it's something that you have to train, from the beginning. And it's a good thing that I have that. And I know that even though I'm training, when I step into the ring, it's me and my opponent. So that's why it doesn't matter what I do with my teammates, whether I do great with my teammates or in training, a fight will always be different. And that's where you get to realize and understand who actually has the skill and who is able to adapt and who's the legend.
And Nkosi, you've had a lot of success in your career with the wins, but you've had some difficult moments. From those defeats, what would you say you've learnt the most about yourself as a fighter?
Yeah, so those were much of lessons, and those were actually not defeat, they were promotions for me. So of everything that has happened before, it was a way of promotion, and everything just worked out together and perfectly for me to be where I am today. Unfortunately, we're in a sport where a lot of people, it's a combat sport, and sometimes you'll experience defeat, and there's a famous saying that everyone likes to say: it doesn't matter how much you get beat down, but as long as you keep getting up, that's what matters. That's what makes champions. So for me, from those lessons, which are not loses, from those lessons, they become a pillar of strength. I've been down there. I've experienced that. So there's nothing I haven't experienced. So there's nothing that scares me. I don't fear anything. So I know the glory of being victorious. I also know the glory of not being victorious. So, but it doesn't determine who I am. I still remain a king. I still remain the king of many nations, and that will forever be. I'll forever be a champion of the champion of the champs, of the champion of the champs.
Okay, if you beat Honkoya on October 18th, I have to ask you, how will you celebrate? But even more so, is there anyone that you'd want to call out?
I mean, for now, I beat Hokonia, and we're in a tournament. So I wouldn't say I want to call out anyone, but we're in a tournament, and I know that the other two guys, Flip, I forgot his name, from Morocco, and yeah, the other two looking guys, geez, they're not usually my main focus now. But after I beat Hokonia, one of the winner, is my main focus. And then after that, obviously the goal is bigger. I belong to the big stages. I belong to the world stages. I'm the king of many nations. I'm not just the king of Africa. So I need to venture into that goal. And I know it's going to be challenging, but I'm braced for that. So yeah, that's the bigger vision. So yeah.
And Coach, this perhaps might be the most difficult question of them all. Who do you have a fighter that you watched growing up? Who was your favourite? Do you have a favourite now that you maybe model some of your style off?
Oh, yes, 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 I do. This might come off as selfish or arrogant or anything else, but man, I like Nkosi. I like the prime Nkosi, the prime from the beginning. There's no one that I look up to and get so motivated than watching the videos of myself on how I started and the challenges I faced from growing up. from how I started, the opportunities I've taken charge of, and yeah, man. Honestly, if I look deep, I really have to pat myself in the back and give myself flowers that are due, because if I wait on people, they'll never do that. So, really, when I look up to someone or whatever, I look down, deep down to myself, and I get so motivated. I can look at other people's who have been into the sport, but I don't get the motivation. They don't give me the feel, because I believe now it's my time. Their time is past. Now it's my time. There's a legacy that belongs to me. It's not their legacy. So whatever that I have to produce has to come out of me. So I don't need to look up from them. But if I look that deep down inside myself, I know there's something greater that needs to come out. And yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand this, and I'll never say anything else just to impress people or try and look like, I always stay true to myself, and that's what I believe in, and that's what I stand on.
You got to back yourself 100% of the time. Listen, I get it. You said in a video I saw online that you fight for those who have supported you and you fight for your country. Who specifically does that pertain to? But also, what does it mean to you to represent South Africa?
It's man, there's so much diversity in South Africa, and fortunately for me, I've been blessed to really travel the world and experience a little bit of this beautiful world that God has blessed us with. And also, it has helped me, think big and think larger, beyond Deep Sloot, beyond Johannesburg, beyond South Africa. And so now it's before you would think of the people only in, where I grew up in the community of Deep Sloot, my family and my friends. But as you grow, you meet some people that really transform your life. And then you realize that, hey, this whole world is actually just a small blob of family, but we are just divided by distance and borders and stuff. So right now, looking at it, yeah, I fight for everyone who's just connected into my life, and um, yeah, I really fight for my family. And representing South Africa is really an amazing thing. It's a beautiful country, uh, and yeah, just to show the world that it doesn't matter where you come from. You can come from a poor background, but it's up to you to create that future. You're 100% responsible when you're going in life.
Nkosi, you talking about the PFL and going back to how you said how you feel moving across to the PFL, and you talk about the tournament style. Obviously, there are some big cards that you will have at some point in your career, and those are the aspirations. What is it about the PFL that excites you, perhaps compared to previous promotions that you've fought under in your amateur career and professional career?
Hey man, look at what PFL is doing. With PFL MENA, with PFL Europe, and with PFL Africa now. Still gonna grow even bigger and broaden the stage, and the horizon of PFL. So the vision is big, man. And when I look at it, it's really beautiful, because right now I'm part of this tournament. It's a beautiful tournament. I know, and then I win this tournament. I've got the opportunity. There's a bigger opportunity that lies ahead of that, which becomes a motivation. And that, when there's a vision, there is potential for growth. So looking at that on its own, and looking at PFL on the vision that they have on just growing the sport of MMA, even in places where people have no access of it. So and I want to become part of that. I like growth. So that's one part that gets me excited about PFL. And I like how they do their tournaments, and starting from like PFL Africa, and then after that you prove yourself, that you belong to the bigger stage, and then when you prove yourself, then you can go to the bigger stages, which is yeah, because that's progress. You can look back and be like, yeah, I'm making progress. So Yeah, I love that.
All right, Nkosi, last question. Maybe the most important. Is South Africa going to the 2026 World Cup?
Of course, of course. You can't leave us out. You understand? What's a World Cup without South Africa? There's no way. Come on now. Even the whole world knows. You know, we are definitely there. And we are taking charge. South Africa has been doing very well. It doesn't matter where, you know, especially in our sport. We are doing so well, man. And and shout out to everyone who's raising the flag in South Africa. And yeah, it's a blessed country. It's a blessed nation. And yeah, we will definitely be there. Definitely.
I love that. We want to see Bafana there for sure. But we want to say thank
Let's
you so
go.
much for taking the time to speak to us and wishing you the best of luck next weekend.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, get ready. Get ready for fireworks.
All right, well, Nkosi, the King Ndebele fighting Simbarashe, the Hawk Hongoya at the PFL Africa on October 18th, right here on Sporty TV. Don't miss it.